And we are on live. Oh God, we're alive. Although strangely, oh, hold on. Yes. Okay. Hi everyone. This is session 2 of Blue Rose, a Serenade in Silver. Um, and this time I'm actually going to use the power of good mouse clicking so that when people are talking, I actually have them front and center, um, rather than it being all random, which seemed to happen last time. Yes, it's my first time GMing, folks. So I'm quickly going to ask, I'm going to go left to right as I see them on the screen, and I'm simply going to ask everyone to sort of reintroduce their characters once again. So Becky, please, could you kick it off?
Hi, I'm playing Arslan, who is a step rider. So basically, she's mad about horses and gosh, I can't remember what happened last session. Oh, hang on, I think I get it. We were in a manor house and we went somewhere. Oh no, I don't. Please remind me. My memory needs jogging. But yes, I'm a step rider, and oh, my camera's there. And I'm gonna get so you can see me. There you go. And yeah, that's what I do. I muck out horses and apparently generate memes.
And Phil.
Good evening. I'm playing Joseph Kovacs. I'm a refugee from Kern, recently arrived in Aldous. This concept of Aldous is all quite new to him because Kern is quite the opposite actually. So he's been this is all new. He's looking around in wonder at all the new sites, and he's been strong-armed into this investigation. So he's just met these two new characters, and we're into the thick of it.
Indeed. And Jay, let's have you.
Okay, so I'm playing Denzel Mortolony, who is by natural instinct a bounty hunter. He is sort of fairly with the times in terms of the more well-to-do side of things, and he's been roped into this investigation with the other two. Various things have happened. Some of it I remember, some of it I don't, to be honest, just my memory being terrible. But yeah, the plot thickens, I guess.
Yes, like a good stew. Right, I will. It could be the last time you ever actually hear, plot thickens like a good stew ever used in a role-playing game hangout. If I'm not the first, I'm trademarking it. Right, so for a quick recap, you were hired, in inverted commas. Press gang would probably be more accurate. Into finding out who had stolen a music box that was to be given as a wedding gift from one husband to the other. It has disappeared. The young girl that you suspected may have been the thief has herself been murdered in her home along with her family. And as many a meme will say, someone did witness a heavy-built man with blonde hair wearing a cloak with the insignia on a griffin on it. Although I can't quite give it the same dramatic power that Becky did.
Heavy built, blonde hair, nice clothes, with cloak with insignia of griffin with outstretched wings on blue background. And
Yes.
may I recommend yak's milk?
Yes. And we ended the last session with the three of you sort of congregating at a bar, and you had come to the realization that the Silence, who are the sort of criminal organization that work within the city of Aldous look as if they had been originally hired to steal the music box, but turned it down because the price was too low. And you were musing, the three of you were musing over whether there is more to the magic box than merely playing a jaunty tune. And it is at that point that we are going to pick things up. Quite literally where the last session ended. The three of you are in the bar of this inn.
That's the inn that Becky's staying at, isn't it? Sorry.
Yes.
Aslan's staying at.
No, it's the one that Denzel is staying at. Becky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So the music box. It's more than just a music box.
Probably.
Apparently so. Much more valuable.
No one mentioned that to us when they described it. Do you think they know or not?
Of course they know.
Well, we don't have any proof that they know, but that's not really the point at this point. What we do need to be aware of is how powerful this thing is, and that we need to get it back.
Forgive me for asking out of character. I'm sure we had a theory on where it had gone, didn't we? And I can't remember what that was.
Okay, out of character, I will say that you had discussed the possibility that it might have been smuggled out of the city. You had heard from the contact from the Silence that it might be being smuggled and on its way to Verdonen.
That's right. Okay. So you will get horses.
Oh, not horses again. I can't ride.
Well, get an easier animal to ride.
Yeah, animals.
What is the complexity?
Yeah.
She's right, we need speed, and if we're going on foot, we haven't got speed.
Okay.
Do you need me to strap you in like a small child?
I hope not. I don't really want to be strapped to the thing. You might have to stop to pick me up a couple of times.
You ride on my horse's back. You hold to me.
Okay, that sounds good.
If you wriggle, I punch you in the face.
Okay, I'll just have my
promise
own
not to
horse
wriggle.
then. I'll be fine, I think.
Oh yes, right. So what are your immediate actions, folks? I will say, if you remember, that you haven't actually been back to the mansion house where the DLs are staying since you've gotten this information from your contact at the Silence.
And if I remember rightly, out of character, we were intending to go there first.
I think so.
It will give us horses.
Yes. And also we can let them know.
Yeah. Okay, back to the mansion.
Okay. I will whisk you at the speed of plot because it's you know, there's only this is not Lord of the Rings, folks. We're not going to watch every footstep. Going from A to B. Sometimes it's dramatic, like Game of Thrones, and sometimes it's just boring. So, about 15 minutes later, you get back to the mansion. Are you going to be knocking on the door again, or are you just going to walk straight in?
Give a quick knock and then walk in.
I'd be quite surprised at that and hold back and follow you in, perhaps.
I'll wait outside until I'm seen.
Okay. So you're just knocking and going straight in, Jay? Okay.
Yeah, I think so, because they kind of know who we are already.
Right. Okay, you walk in. The place is, I don't want to say it's in any kind of disarray or anything, but there's a few people milling about. The manservant Simmons does see you all entering. Impertinent people! You should wait for me to open the door.
I am still here waiting for you.
Well, you may as well come in.
I thought so too. I enter.
I'm sorry. I thought you would recognize us and maybe not have to worry about all the formalities.
I recognize the dogs at the local boneyard. It doesn't mean I let them in.
Okay then.
Master, your rather tactless troubadours have entered again. Starts looking at you sort of up and down with all the sort of weaponry on, looking all the more confused. They start looking at you and going, how is it you make such music with so much heavy metal hanging off you? How do you do that?
For the gods knows how many times we are not musicians.
Clearly.
These are not used for playing music with.
Yes. Yes, Simmons. Thank you. Sam Matthias, Lord Sylvan. Come through to the drawing room, please.
Thank you.
Actually, my crossbow can twang.
Well, it's amazing what you can do with instruments, but normally they are not designed for making music with.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to start making music with a quarterstaff.
One might suggest you do a good rhythm, but yes. Do sit down. I must apologize for my manservant. He is somewhat addled in his old age. You have news?
Yes, somewhat. Probably not what you were hoping for, though. I had a conversation, shall we say, with someone who obviously knew about this music box and who was going to have the job of stealing it. But in the end, according to them, if you believe their story, they decided to turn down this contract or mission, if you like, I think due to lack of funding from the client. But they are aware of what the music box is, what it's for, and the person who wanted them to steal it, they instead decided to choose somebody else to do it. Nevertheless, they said to me, Well, the music box is probably on the way to somewhere quite far from here, because apparently that was where it came from. It's returning to its origin, shall we say.
Hmm. Well, I do know that my cousin did have it made in Verdonen.
That's right, that's what you said. Verdonen.
Quite
That's
quite how he
miles away,
managed.
is it?
It is. It is. Um,
Are they well known for making music boxes, or why there? Why not within the city?
if you just to stick out a character, just to remind you that both the families that are marrying are from Verdonen originally. They're just
Oh,
getting
sorry.
married in
Oh,
Aldous.
right, okay. Okay.
Oh, fair enough.
They're here at the gracious invitation of the Queen. You poor sod. Right. Yes, it is quite a distance. It's some journey. It'll take you
Yes.
some 5 or 6 days hard riding to reach Vardanen. Did you have any indication as to whether or not the box is actually heading to Vardanen?
Not actual
They seem to be of the
no.
opinion that it is.
He was very convinced that it was. And because he confessed to me that originally him and his group of people were going to be part of this whole heist, that gives me some kind of incentive that he does know a bit about this music box. Or else he wouldn't have told me.
Yes, indeed.
Is there anything about the music box you're not telling us? Is it possibly more than just a music box?
I would suppose the answer would be yes and no. To the average person, myself included, it is exactly what it is. It's a little silver music box that plays a piece of music. To Callum and his husband-to-be, it is a symbol of their undying love. So in their eyes, it is most certainly more than a music box. Well, it will be in his husband-to-be's eyes when he sees it. He, of course, knows nothing of it, I hope.
Yes.
Well, all our, I suppose, leads go towards this place, Verdonen.
Then I would suggest heading to Verdonen as swiftly as possible.
We'll need 2 more horses.
Yes, there is that issue in that we will need more horses in order to travel there as soon as we could.
I am quite happy to provide you with horses. I am quite happy to provide you with provisions. There's only one small problem.
What's that?
The travel by horseback up to Verdonen would take you at least 6 days. It is exactly 6 days to the wedding.
Oh.
I am afraid we are going to have to try and arrange far faster transport.
Do you have anything?
I may know of a few people who may be able to lend creatures of a more winged variety.
Really? You have flying animals that take people on their back?
Flying?
I would not necessarily refer to griffins as flying animals.
Griffins? I thought they were made up. I thought there was some children's fairy tale.
Oh, aren't you very, very, very hidden from the world? I have a few.
I wasn't sure about riding, but flying, that's even more dangerous.
I'm afraid if all your investigations have placed you in trying to get to Verdun to find this music box, then I'm afraid needs must. Finding this box and returning it to my cousin is absolutely essential.
Well, yes.
Hmm.
If you have these so-called griffins and you're allowing us to use them, then
Well, may I say, I personally do not have griffins. I happen to know someone who is a friend of a griffin, and that is a family, and they may be willing to help out given the
okay,
situation.
I see.
It will take a few hours for me to for me to sort it out. Would you allow me to do so? As I say,
Yes.
I'm quite prepared to give you
Well,
horses.
Do
if
you
you
have
think,
book on Griffin?
Simmons, sir. Yes, Simmons. The young rider here would greatly appreciate a book on Griffin lore. I do have one in the library. Please do make sure she gets it. Musicians on... They're not musicians. Very well, sir. He sort of toddles off. Any other information? Do you have any leads at all with regards to this poor girl's murder?
We have a description of someone, but I think we've told you that in the past.
Yes.
That's the only lead we had.
The cloak had Griffin insignia
Yes.
on blue background.
yes.
Yes, the Tassler family crest. Did the person you spoke to, this person who mentioned the box going to Verdun, did he give you any clue, any notion as to whether or not they were involved or who was involved in this callous murder?
Well, apart from what we've told you already, we don't really know anything else. That's the problem. All we have is that this music box is so-called making its way to Verdun.
Okay.
To be honest, I didn't believe this man to start with. But because he told me so much, it kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe he was involved in it to begin with, or his group was, and then it was turned down, and he wouldn't have told me otherwise.
Okay.
Unless it's some very elaborate ruse.
While he's talking to Denzel, can I cast mind reading to try and read his surface thoughts?
Ooh! I was wondering when someone was actually going to pull that one. I'm just going to bring up your... Yeah. Right. Mind reading. Yep. If you would like to roll, please.
Oh, that's a 10. What's the...
Remember, you'll have 4 for mind reading.
Yes.
And whatever the controlling attribute for mind reading is. I think most of them are charisma based, aren't they?
I've got it written down there. That's a wisdom, actually.
Wisdom.
So that's a 4, 10, that's a 17.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where I'd almost almost want to take you to the side, but as I can't do that in a physical sense, as you read his thoughts, the only thing you really get from him, because you feel an immediate resistance, as if he can sense your attempt. But all you really manage to glean from him is, so far so good.
Right, okay. Okay, so I'm going to wait till we're alone with our group, and then pass that information on.
Okay. Okay. So you're still with him now. Yeah, he kind of looks at you with a sort of quizzical eye, and then gives you a small smile. I do hope you're successful with your investigation.
Yes, so do we. So we've got a lot riding on it ourselves. So how long do you think it would take to arrange the griffins?
I would say, give me a few hours.
Okay.
2, maybe 3. It's delicate negotiation. You do understand that we're not going to be so much hiring animals. They are sentient beings. Obviously, we do have to ask their permission, and they'll probably want payment.
If you say so. I know nothing about griffins at all, so we don't have those in Kern.
Yes. Yes, I will go and make those arrangements right now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'll begin
He
reading
leaves.
this book on Griffin law.
And as soon as he leaves the room, I'll turn to the other two and say, he knows more than he's saying. I read his thoughts, and he's hiding stuff.
Do you know what?
I don't know what, but he's thinking it seems like he thinks he's getting away with something.
You hear that, Denzel? And that is the question you ask? He reads minds. What have you read from my mind?
Nothing that didn't involve horses. No, nothing at all. I only do it. I don't do it every time. It's a skill that's used with selectively. It's used with caution.
I do not
You
know
say
if
so.
I should trust you with this. You act like a small child, cannot even ride horse.
Well, there's not that many horses where I come from. I mean, horses are reserved for the bosses. They're reserved for the, you know, it's just not that many. If we had a horse, we'd eat it.
It would be a waste of the horse.
It's a lot better than rat.
What can you use rat for other than eating?
Yeah, well, a horse is better than rat.
Exactly, that's why you eat the rat.
If you have a horse, you eat the horse.
Not if you have rat.
Right, okay. Being choices aside, what's happening? Have we got enough horses?
No, we have griffin soon.
Oh yes, of course we do. Has anyone here ridden a griffin before?
I
'Cause
have
certainly
book.
have. Yes, but practically.
There
No.
are some unusual words in the preface. I skipped some chapter, yeah?
Yeah. The Griffin lore is pretty much, you know, what we probably. The one thing I will say about griffins is that they are rident, so they are sentient and intelligent creatures capable of speaking and so on. They're not intelligent animals. They're fully sentient beings, and as such have equal status in Aldous.
Okay.
So it's it's fun. So right, you're still in this drawing room.
I should be reading this book and getting as much out of it as I can.
What you doing?
Well, I will probably be glancing over this book as well, and maybe looking at the most important tips and whatever, rather than reading the entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joseph is quite worried about this guy. He believes this guy is not telling us everything.
Okay. I want actions from everyone, please.
Turn page too fast. You read too quick.
Sorry,
Give
I'm
me back
skimming.
book.
But we should still get some more information out of this guy. He's not telling us everything. We could be going off. He could want us to go away and not find it. It could still be here.
What would you have us do, though? There's no proof. If we started being hostile towards him,
Oh, I know what you're saying.
we need to make him slip somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that point, Simmons comes back in to the room. Are you still here?
Yes.
Clearly. Check your eyes.
Yes. I didn't realize that you would be staying while the master did his rounds.
We are being employed by your master, therefore we answer to your master, not you. I understand that you're vigilant, Simmons, but just let us do our job.
Very well. And he walks out. You can see that he's slightly perturbed with you, though.
Yeah, Denzel doesn't care. He kind of lets out a huff and says, I can't wait for the day when he starts stopping us, when he stops calling us musicians. That'll be good.
I can't wait for the day he bring drink for us, not himself. And please, you turn page too quick again.
Okay, have the book back.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm simply skimming. I'm not reading like you are. You read far too intently.
Are you waiting for Lord Sylvan to return? Yes. Okay.
Yes, we are, yeah.
Takes about an hour, by which time you are pretty up on Griffin lore. It turns out that riding a griffin isn't actually that big a deal. Given that they're sentient creatures, it's just a case of hanging on and telling them, right, we want to go such and such a place. Because, they can read maps and stuff. So, it's just a case of sitting on and hanging on and let them do the work.
Okay, what about, earning respect of Griffin or Griffin history or something like that?
Yeah, basically, essentially treat a griffin the same way you would treat a noble.
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat them like shit, and a little sort of courtesy and so on will go a long way. But otherwise, griffins are nice pilots to have, and it's probably the best way to look at it. You're not going to be so much steering, they're going to be piloting. They're the ones doing the flying. You're just along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lord Sylvan returns. We have been successful. The negotiations have happened better than expected. The Griffins are keen to help. I explained the situation, and they are very, very keen for us to get their help. So I can escort you to them. Quite a busy marketplace just now, but we can get there in good time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let us go.
How long do you know? How long it will take us to get to the place on a griffin?
2 days, 2.5.
Very quick.
Depends how high up they go. They might not fly quite so high because they're obviously carrying. But they can fly fairly fast, fairly swiftly. Shouldn't take them long. Not impeded by ground and river and bog and swamp and mountains and hills. Just flying straight and true.
Okay, thank you.
So, let's go.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, you proceed. You're heading through the city of Aldous, and it takes you through the main marketplace. It's quite busy. And at one point, Sylvan stops and says, "Oh, that's unusual."
What is?
There, he points over, sort of draws your attention to a small group of people, maybe 100 feet away through the crowd. I wasn't expecting them for a few days. That's the Marchland family crest.
Does it resemble anything with the blonde-haired guy with the blue background stuff?
No, it's an eagle it's an eagle on a sort of flaming background.
Okay.
Why
is that not normal then?
Well, I wasn't expecting the other wedding party until nearer the time. We weren't expecting them for a few days.
Of course it's not normal. That not family portrait. That picture of eagle.
I'd like everyone to make notice rolls, please.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look at my skills. Where is it?
Notice.
Okay, I have favored skill in notice.
So we add bonus and a stat, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, and the stat would be
Wisdom?
Which? Wisdom?
It's either
Okay.
wisdom or intelligence.
I don't know.
I'll have a look.
It's wisdom in D&D.
I know, but we can't have it all the same. Ronnie, you can't notice the notice. Wisdom. It's wisdom.
Okay.
No. 19.
16 for me.
Oh!
Ooh.
How much does a favourite skill cost again?
Favorite skill. What known skills did you take? I've got your character sheet here.
Notice the favourite skill, so how much bonus do I get with it, is what I'm saying. It's not a known skill.
Then you don't have it.
Okay.
Then you'll just roll it without that.
Right, okay.
Just with wisdom.
In that case, it would be 13.
13. Right, that's fine. The reason I made you roll on that is because we've got a bustling crowd. But as you're sort of drawn, as your attention is being drawn to this group of people, you do notice a man heading towards them. He stops for a moment to talk to one of the older men. The conversation looks quite jovial and friendly, and then this man walks away. The man being a heavy-built man with blonde hair, with an insignia of a griffin with its on a cloak.
Okay, can I just check, am I still on my master's horse, or are we walking through this marketplace?
I'm going to assume you're walking, but as I didn't actually state either way, I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to roll it on here. I'm going to make it literally odds and evens. If it's odds, you've got the horse with you.
No.
No, you're walking.
Okay, I pull out my crossbow.
Ooh.
And say,
Okay.
heavy-built, blonde-hair, nice clothes with cloak with insignia of griffin with outstretched wings on blue background, and I fire the crossbow.
Go for it. Roll.
Oh, right.
I have to say now you're looking for a hell of a shot at this point, but
No, I didn't make one. I've +4 with it, so I got 12.
Yeah. Yeah. You did not manage to hit the guy that you were going for.
Below
However,
where the bolt fired, I had to shoot over heads of crowd.
yes, unfortunately, you've managed to wing one of the crowd.
Oh.
Because that bolt's going somewhere. Sorry, it's the law of averages. If a bolt goes flying and it doesn't hit your target, it's going to hit something, whether it's a post or a barn door or somebody else in this case. And with the amount of people, it was always going to be far more likely to hit something else. So you winged one guy in the shoulder who was not the person you were firing at, but he's now making a run for it.
Well, the guy I hit or the guy we were after?
Well, he's obviously heard you saying, that, and he's run.
Okay. Well, I'll be running after. I'm going to throw my crossbow to the lord that we were with and run.
Yeah, stop him.
What's she doing? Shooting people?
Who was that? Says Sylvan. Half sort of, what on earth?
The man on the insignia we're looking for. That's him.
What? Yes, go get him. I'll talk to these. I'll talk to these people. Go. Right. How is your athletics? I think we're going to use athletics for chasing.
Athletics.
Yeah,
Are we
moving
gonna
on.
use-
I was going to say, I don't have that written anywhere, so I'm
No,
assuming
do
I'm
I.
not very good at it.
Okay, we're just going to have to do a whole... Right, I want everyone to do a straight roll for me, please, and add your dexterity.
Oh, that's a 7 for me.
11.
15.
Excuse me.
11 and
15.
15 from Joseph, and
Oh no,
Becky.
7 for me.
Yeah.
My straight
7.
7.
The straight 7. What was yours? 15?
It's 15.
15. Jay?
11.
11. Right, so if one were doing horse racing commentary, more sort of steeplechase commentary, one would say that the blonde guy was in the lead, closely followed by the Steps girl, with the bounty hunter close in third, and the human bringing up the rear at some way behind. You're gaining ground on him, Becky.
Good, good. If we're passing a horse at all, I'm going to jump up onto it.
You see one. I mean, it's kind of attached to it. There's two. There's one kind of, tied to a post. There's another one that's attached to a cart.
The one tied to the post, that'll be easy to leap on and unhook.
Okay. Give me a riding roll, please.
Sure.
Because I mean, we're not talking about
21.
Yeah, we're not talking about riding in the wide open steppes here. We're talking about riding through narrow streets full of people.
Yeah,
It's going to
I
take
got 21.
Yeah. Yeah, you catch up with him very, very, very quickly.
Okay. I'll hover my mace up above his head and shout, "Yield!"
He sort of turns round, and you can see that he's trying to draw a sword as he turns. As he's trying to do it in sort of one swift motion.
Okay, he needs a mace round the head then. We'll talk to him when he's recovering.
Roll.
That's a 13.
What's the damage on the mace, please?
Times 2, it says.
Should have been numbers just before it.
Yeah, isn't that critical times 2?
Yeah, the critical's times 2.
Oh, in that case, I'm sorry to say that not knowing the system, I've not marked it down correctly.
That's alright. We will find it. We will find it. We will have it.
My weapons are heavy mace and heavy crossbow.
Okay. Light crossbow is +3 if that helps.
Yeah, I'm just looking for heavy mace. Yes, I see. Yeah, +3. Yeah, you stunned him.
I say again, yield, or my friends will not be so nice as me.
You can see him. You can see he's trying to shake it off as he's still quite dizzy and.
I'm gonna hop down off the horse And I think I'll just knee him in the nuts.
Oh, this could be. Yeah. Yeah, go for it. It's technically brawling, but just go for it anyway. Okay.
Oh, dice roll here. Okay. I rolled 11, but I don't know what I'm adding.
Just make it strength.
Oh dear, 9. I gently caress his bollocks.
It could be the best fun he's had all year. Is this you doing the Klingon mating ritual thing? You bop him over the head and then gently caress his bollocks.
Well, it was an attempt to do, the incapacitating, but
right. He's yes, as Lord Morbius points out, Becky's now ruined nuts. Balls to that, I say. He's kind of looking at you more with sort of confusion now, given your sort of weak kneeing of his knackers, and is now sort of trying to push you away. This is going to be a straight strength test, and yeah.
do I roll as well?
Yes, it's an opposed roll.
16.
Right. Maybe it's because you've just, you're kind of well built from your steps upbringing. Maybe you're just well set. Maybe he's just a fucking wimp, or maybe you just got the edge on him. But he tries to sort of push you away and ends up sort of slumping due to just being too weak to actually even move you. He ends up dropping onto his knees in front of you.
Okay, now I kick him in the face and wait for the others.
Go for it.
10.
Yeah. Ouchie. Yeah. He's stunned. He's back. He's now. He's going to be spending the next few minutes counting the stars in the sky, even though it's the middle of the day. Because he's seeing stars.
Okay.
You gave him a right good smack.
I'll put the mace back in my belt. You boy, take this horse back to that man over there who's screaming at me.
Yeah, right. As that sort of as the boy you've seen sort of leading the horse away, you two now arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he has. You see this guy on the deck. He's not unconscious by any means.
You scary guy, read his mind.
What are you doing? You just can't beat people in the street.
He is murder.
Okay, so
Okay, I will try. I'll try. I mean, this is a little bit not the situation for it, but okay.
yeah, so what I do is I lean over him, draw on my kukri, and I put it under his throat, and say, "Okay, you're going to tell us everything you know."
I don't know anything.
You must know something because we've been looking for someone very similar to you for quite some time. Blonde hair, blue eyes, griffin on a blue background. Who are you?
I'm just an actor.
What?
I was hired to walk around looking like an old-fashioned noble. They found me a cloak. I had to walk around the city, all sort of pageantry, and it's. I don't even know this city that well. I had to ask blooming directions.
I turn towards Joseph.
I've rolled a 17 on that with all the modifiers.
Yeah.
But with with Jenny's question, I believe I can tell a bit more, can't I?
Yeah. I'm going to give you unbelievable amounts here. Well, not really. It's it's fairly simple. When he's saying all this, you're sort of reading his mind, and his mind is in complete concert with what he's saying. More importantly, the other thought that's going through his mind is, what are the following two things? What the hell is he talking about? I don't know anything. And get that weird woman away from me. She smacks me over, chases me on a horse, smacks me over the head, tries to fondle me.
So can I tell anything about the guy that hired him?
Not from that sort of mind reading. I mean, you can only really detect thoughts rather than images.
Okay.
It'd be more a case of asking him. And
why did you kill maid and family?
Well, maid and family.
Why?
I haven't killed anyone.
In the north of the city, the maid from the family that the music box was stolen from.
32 Cooperwell Street.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't killed anyone. I mean,
have you been to 32 Cooperwell Street?
Where is that?
Who hired you?
I was hired by the city council to be all regal and act like a lord and be nice to the general populace. And
they gave you the clothes?
Yeah, they just gave me some off the rack stuff. I've been all over. I mean, I've been all over. It's I've been here and there, and it's. You're not going to try and mace me again, are you?
Perhaps.
So he's still telling the truth, is he? He's not being dishonest.
Yeah, he's either telling the truth or he is the world's greatest liar.
So I'll pass that on. He believes what he's saying. That's what he thinks happened.
Okay. Well, maybe it's not him.
Not me. What? I'm getting chased by wild women on horses, fondling my bits.
Woman on a horse. Or is this something you're not telling us about other wild women chasing you?
I am not wild. I come from civilized people.
He actually.
And that as well, yes.
He faints.
Oh, it's passed out.
Oh, okay. That makes things a little bit easier. What should we do with him?
Drag him to the edge of the street and just leave him, I suppose. I mean, what does he mean that the council told him to do it? I mean, they employed us, didn't they?
Our Lord employed us. Let us take him back to the Lord and ask this Lord questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Denzel, you are strong. You carry him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? How exactly are you carrying him? Are you carrying him across the threshold, or are you giving him a fireman's lift?
I was going to give him a fireman's lift, or rather just carry him at the front.
Yeah.
I'm a bounty hunter. Come on.
Fireman's lift. I'll allow you to do a roll if you're carrying him across the threshold.
Really?
If
Okay.
if you're carrying him across the threshold,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm going to make you roll it. Fuck it.
Okay, so straight roll with strength, yes?
Yeah. Just for the funnies.
I
Okay,
think you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. I was saying I still got a 7, but that's in total. I got a +3 in strength, but no, I still rolled a 4, so 7.
Right. Yeah, it's he's feeling a bit more like dead weight than anything else at the moment. You're not quite getting a grip under him.
This guy is really heavy.
Is there a cart we can sling him in and hire a cart to take him up to back to the mansion?
There was actually, wasn't there? Because there was one during the chase.
Yeah, you did pass one on the way.
Just the guy who owns the car. Can you, for some money, would you take this guy just 10 minutes down the road?
Yeah. Yeah. Give us a few pennies, I'll do that. Put him up in a straw.
Okay. Sling him in the back there, he'll be alright.
Ugh.
What's he had?
Better.
What's he had? Too much wine.
Too much something.
I think he has a bit of a belly.
Yeah.
They missed him in the face.
Wow. There's got to be an easier way of getting a lumber, mate.
We'll pay you when we get there. Just go.
Right. As you're getting back to the sort of main bit of the marketplace, you see that Lord Sylvan is sort of looking in the general direction he saw you go. Sort of looking around to see if he can see you.
Okay.
Right back, I take my crossbow off of him and sling it back on my back.
Did you succeed in finding him?
Of course.
We think so. He keeps claiming that he was simply an actor, someone who dressed up on behalf of somebody else, but we still got him.
Excellent. Yes, I would say that was job well done. Yes. I'm sure the City Watch will be. I'm sure the City Watch will be very, very happy to take him off your hands.
Well, don't you want to talk to him?
I'm sure the City Watch is more than capable, or indeed the Queen's finest.
But then that wouldn't help us.
I'm going to try and bring this guy round, the guy that's on the cart. Because I have a suspicion he's going to recognise the Lord, or vice versa. I want to see if it's true.
Okay.
I slap him about a bit and possibly pour water on his face. Is that the councilman who hired you?
Okay, the first visage you get is one of shit. It's her. What's she wanting from me now? Is there no part of my body that she, And then it kind of looks in the direction that you're pointing. So, I mean, I recognize him, but no, it was oh, what was his name? Oh, it will come to me. It will come.
I pour more water on his face.
Not going to help me if you drown me. Marchland, that was the name.
Ah,
Did I not hear that word earlier somewhere?
that's the family that they're marrying into.
Ah. Marchland. And that's this family that the Lord was just talking to.
Yes.
Was it those people?
Well, I mean, I recognised the emblem on the cloak. That's why I was asking them for directions. I recognised the emblem. It wasn't any of those men though. That is very high up. Greying hair. Trimmed sort of beard and goatee and quite well spoken. Yes, very, very, very nice man.
Green hair, eh?
You should stand out a bit.
I think
Greying hair.
Oh, grey. Sorry, I misheard you.
How
I
old
said
did
green hair would be
person
quite
look?
distinguishable.
How old did they look?
My imagination is wild. It hasn't gone to green hair yet.
How old did this man?
I actually missed half that sentence there, Becky.
Oh, how old did the guy look?
Older than you. I would say maybe late 40s, thereabouts, 50s even. Yes. You can see from Lord Sylvan that he's sort of taking a couple of steps back in confusion.
Okay, so I'm going to go up to Lord Sylvan and say, Marchland, greying hair, trimmed goatee, well spoken, late 40s, early 50s. Who?
And tonight's meme.
I need that written down if I'm going to make one.
And tonight's meme is. It sounds like Lord Marchland himself, Rigel Marchland. Jonas's father is the father of the husband to be.
And that is where we will find music box.
Is there any reason he wouldn't want the marriage to take place?
He I know that at the start of the relationship he was very. He wasn't. It took him time to get used to the idea that his son was about to give him a son-in-law as opposed to a daughter-in-law. But he got over that. I'm sure. I'm sure this is just some huge misunderstanding. I can't for the life of me think that Rigel would be in any way involved in anything, any sort of skullduggery. It just doesn't sound like him at all.
Why would he care who his sons sleep with? Does he want to also sleep with them?
It's he. I suppose there was a certain traditionalist attitude. He wanted an heir, that his son would produce an heir to go down the line. But I'm sure he got over it. I'm sure he's fine now. It's just a huge misunderstanding. Maybe this actor was merely hired to I mean, the Marchland is a well-known name, but it's not exactly a large household. Maybe it was simply hired to make the house look bigger. I don't know. I can't believe there was anything nefarious involved.
Hmm.
Well, then you are not that quick.
Do you know the family very well? I mean, how well do you know this man? You say you can't believe, but how well do you know him?
I truthfully, I know him mostly from the occasional social gathering that the two families have had. I can't say that I know him well, but from everything I've seen of him, I cannot imagine for a moment that he would possibly involved in anything so vile. I mean, one thing I know for certain is that he absolutely loves his son, and the idea that he would do anything to cause his son any unhappiness is unthinkable to me. Most confusing. This is most confusing. Although it does rather make me wonder why the music box, if you're right, this possibly lends credence to the notion that the music box was heading to Verdonen, back to where it was made. This is very, very odd.
Hmm. Do you know where they're staying? Or, yeah.
I can find out very, very quickly.
Yes, I think we need to know that.
I do feel that under the circumstances, I should at least inform Callum that that they are that the Marchlands are in the city. I think he would want to know. I'll let him know. Allow me to return to my home. I will discover very quickly where the Marchlands are staying, and I'll get word to you.
Okay.
Do we not get Griffin now?
We might not need to. Thank God. We won't need to fly anywhere.
Shame, I read 5 pages.
So,
They seem intriguing, yes, but we might not need them, as Joseph said.
perhaps if we get this right, you could ask for one as your reward.
Oh, they are sentient. You do not possess.
I might be able to cast a little spell for you on that one.
Okay. Right.
So,
Sorry.
So, do we now think we should investigate the Marchlands before we charge off up country?
Denzel?
Well, Denzel feels a bit sort of concerned about wandering through marshes, but also he's not going to object if that's what we have to do. It's just not his forte.
Okay. Okay. So where is everyone now going?
I think probably it might be better if we head back to Denzel's tavern he was staying at.
Okay. That is fine.
Okay. Right. Are we going to have to use a popular meme, have a quick drinking and conversational session before the next bit?
Yeah, want a break, don't you, Ronnie?
Nope. Nope. I'm quite prepared to turn the screw on you right now, because I haven't even
Oh, we got
started.
something planned.
I haven't even started turning the screw on you tonight. This is fucking kids play compared to what's coming.
Okay.
Oh no. I could take a couple minutes if I could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
sure.
everyone wants
I'd be
a
happy
couple of
to do,
minutes.
yeah.
Okay.
Everyone want a couple of minutes before the hell breaks loose?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Yes.
We get it.
Character will live 2 minutes longer. Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
How are you enjoying the show so far?
Well, I was waiting for hell to break loose, but it hasn't broken loose yet. So I thought, oh, maybe it'll break loose next session, but
No, this is the I kind of run my Cthulhu scenarios like this. It's not so much, it's not the horror in one go. It's the slow twist of the knife. And by the time the players realize that they've been wounded by it, it's too fucking late. So yeah. So yes, we're 2 for 2 for great descriptive memes. I'm looking forward to the memes for next week already. This I'm almost considering calling next week's session a meme to remember. Yeah, I'm hoping everyone's enjoying this session.
yes.
I'm aware that you feel like you're treading water a little at the moment. All I can say is that's intentional.
Okay.
You're doing quite well considering.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't want you feeling that you're kind of, wandering around like headless chickens. You're actually doing pretty well. It's kind of designed to make you look like headless chickens for a while. All I'll say is, by the end of it, it will all make sense. It's a bit like Jacob's Ladder. Wait to the end before you try and figure it out.
I knew it.
Yes, you've all really died.
No, I mean it's your favorite movie ever, so of course you're going to pull stuff from it.
Well, it's certainly my favorite horror movie.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
And it makes me. It's one of the films that makes me cry every time. I always cry at the end because it's.
I still haven't watched Angel Heart, by the way. It's really bad because the writing on the CDs that you gave me, or the DVDs, is actually faded off. I know, it's terrible, right?
It's
I know which ones they are because they're in a green disc cover or whatever, but yeah. I need to watch Angel Heart.
Yes, Angel Heart, which does have one of the greatest lines about religion ever said.
But it's all false.
Robert De Niro's character at one point says this, when Harry Angel, the Mickey Rourke character, says there's a lot of religion mixed up with these murders. And De Niro's character says, well, you know what they say, there's just enough religion to make men hate one another, but not enough to make them love.
Mm.
And it's just one of the best lines about religion ever. Right, are we ready for part 2 of Turn of
Or
the
the
Screw?
invisible pink unicorn loves me.
Of part 2B of Turning the Screw. Right. You are yeah, there we go. Meme of the night. Am I an invisible pink unicorn? It's right up there with the famous Rollmaster move, maneuver, fumble table, which had the one of the things you could roll as a fumble was you trip over an unseen imaginary deceased turtle. You're very confused. Right, you're in the inn. In the inn. Are you going to be discussing what you think is happening?
Yeah.
Making discussion with each other? Have at. This is when the GM gets to sit back for 5 minutes and watch you guys attempt to swim.
Well, I'm sort of like really confused now because I thought we had the idea of what we're doing, but no, the Marshlands have come into it.
Marshland orchestrated whole thing. Stop his son marrying other son.
Just don't go bopping him on the head with your mace, okay? Talk
He
to him
was
first.
running. He did not yield. I shouted yield. He did not yield.
You just can't go around hitting people on the head.
He did not yield. He went for his sword. Did you rather I wait till he hurt me with his sword?
Oh no, obviously
Because
not.
I already do not trust you, mind reader.
I haven't read your mind. You're fine. But so what are we going to do? Are we going to straight out just ask this Marchland, or
Why did he assist in a murder and or commit murder?
That's the thing we need proof.
We have evidence.
Well, we do, but is it enough?
well,
We have mind reader.
I might be able to tell. Yes, it's not guaranteed. I mean, you know, but it's possible. I could tell.
You must be good at something. You cannot ride horse.
Riding horses is not the only thing in the world.
No, it is what children do.
Yes, hence why she said that you were better at something else. I mean, we realise that you obviously have some kind of connection with other people's minds, and I believe that, but not everyone will.
Okay, that's yeah. Yes, I mean, if we can ask the right questions, I can probably pick up on what he's thinking at the time.
Does it help if he has been maced round the face?
No.
Okay.
Not when they're unconscious. You're a very violent person.
I was just curious.
Okay. It's been about 2 hours since you arrived back at the inn. The bar is filling up. It's now into the evening. At that point, you see a small boy entering the inn, looking around, and spots the three of you where you're sitting, and comes over to you. My master begs you to come see him at the mansion house straight away.
Okay. Thank you.
Who is your master?
Lord Sylvan.
He is? Everyone seems to be Lord Sylvan's master.
Or perhaps he's got news of, you know, the Marshlands, and actually set up a meeting for us.
Well, we go to the mansion then, I guess. We all go, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
We do.
Okay. It takes you roughly 15-20 minutes to get there. When you arrive, before you've even knocked on the door is opened by Simmons, who beckons you in. The master will see you in the drawing room.
Thank you very much.
As you go in, you see that Lord Sylvan is sitting there. He's in the main armchair. He's got a small goblet of wine that he's sipping. He looks slightly shaken.
You cold?
What's wrong?
The situation has become volatile.
Volatile?
In what way?
I blame myself. I returned here. I told Callum that Lord Marchland was here in the city. I was loose of tongue. I mentioned the actor and your suspicions. Callum was enraged. He left here. He wanted to confront Lord Marchland. I tried to stop him, but I'm afraid I came second best. You notice on the left-hand side of his chin a small bruise. He was very insistent on going alone. He'd had a few goblets of wine, perhaps one or two too many.
Yes, I can see that.
Do you know where he's gone?
I know where he is now.
And you'd like us to get him back as well?
And well, He is currently being held by the City Watch.
Oh.
Lord Marchland was found murdered an hour ago. They suspect Callum flew into a rage and killed him.
But Callum is not husband material.
It is
This is not really the time to talk husband material, but are you really suggesting that he got so drunk that he decided to kill somebody?
I do not believe for a second that he is responsible for this. However, that is what the City Watch think.
Where was Lord Marchland killed?
It appears that he sent a message to Lord Marchland to meet him at a there was a side street near the mansion home. I suspect so that he could have a private word with him without his husband to be finding out. But this the situation is becoming far more complex than the simple theft of a box. The Queen's finest are thinking of now stepping in. Unless you can recover the box, time is now ticking. This was meant to be a week building up to a great celebration. This is
Well, what can the box do now if the Queen's finest are involved and there's a murder? What will retrieving the box actually achieve?
if we can show that the box was not stolen by the Marchlands as is being assumed, then perhaps we can show that Callum had no reason to murder Lord Marchland and it would go in his favour. I would ask you please speak to Callum. Maybe he can tell you what happened. I now have to deal with Callum's father and explain that his son is currently languishing in jail.
Okay. So he's held by the City Watch then. So I suppose we're going to have a word.
And anything you can do to aid in this situation, I am. I do not know what to do.
Do you think we'll be able to get anything out of Callum if we talk to him? It depends how inebriated he actually is.
We do realise we're not going to be able to get his release, don't you? We're not going to be able to.
No, but hopefully maybe you can find some information for him that will show his innocence. I don't believe for a moment that he's responsible.
Okay.
Nice bruise on your face.
Yes, not the happiest of bruises.
Did he do that to you?
It was a moment of wild anger. He was upset. He was looking for answers. He just wanted to talk to Lord Marchland. I honestly believe that he only went to confront him, to ask him straight out. I blame myself. I should not have mentioned the actor or your suspicions. Perhaps all this could have been avoided.
Well, it seems that Marshland is no longer a lead, so we could talk to Callum if, as you ask. Then perhaps we get Griffin and recover Box.
Yes, yes. The box is now absolutely important.
They've got to page 6.
You will get your griffins.
The griffins are ready to depart as soon as you are willing and able.
Okay, so we should go talk to this Callum guy, shouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Where is he held? The city watch, or the citadel, or a castle, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much the place where you were all summoned and first met.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'd be able to even speak to Captain Houseman again, if you so wished.
Which one was he?
He's the guy. He was the guy that hired you.
Oh, he was? Oh.
Yeah.
The one that actually put
Gregor Houseman.
the one that actually put you all together at the start.
Oh, right. I thought that was this guy for some reason. Okay.
No.
Right. Well, we'll head there then.
Okay. Right. You arrive. It's a bustle of activity. As you approach the main doors, 2 guards who have halberds cross the halberds over the door. State your business.
We've come to see a prisoner.
Which prisoner?
Callum Sylvan.
Callum Dale.
Oh, sorry.
Are you family?
We've been employed by the family to help, and also Captain Gregor Houseman.
Oh, right, yeah. On you go then. As you're heading into the sort of main area, the cells are down and to the right. Up and to the left is the stairway that you all went up to see Captain Houseman the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You actually hear footsteps coming down those stairs, and you see Captain Houseman appearing. I didn't expect to see you quite this soon, or under these circumstances.
Well, here we are.
Do come up to my office.
Okay.
Right. What can you tell me so far?
We have a number of possible suspects. It's
2 of them are dead.
Yes, 2 of them are dead.
It's easy. Every time we get suspect, it narrows down.
He is hoping you find more suspects then. What can you tell me about this business with Lord DL's son currently in my cells? They should be.
He wants a music box to get married. Thought maid stole it. Was not maid. Was heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes with cloak with insignia of griffin with outstretched wings on blue background. That family hired an actor to play heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes with cloak with insignia of griffin with outstretched wings on blue background. But actor was not the same. Heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes with cloak with insignia of griffin with outstretched wings on blue background. Instead was man hired by Marchland, greying hair, trimmed goatee, well-spoken, late 40s, early 50s. He was killed, possibly by Callum, possibly by family behind Griffin with outstretched wings on blue background.
yeah,
Is that clear?
I'm almost tempted. If there were experience points in this system, I would give that for you managing to do that entire litany without breaking stride. I'd also give experience points for the other 2 for actually managing to try and stop themselves from cracking up. As a GM, I'm allowed to crack up. Right. Do you think he killed him? DL, do you think he killed his future father-in-law?
Personally, no.
I'm inclined to think yes, but it could be family of Griffin with outstretched wings on blue background.
I was also going to say no.
He just doesn't seem to have that much go about him.
Maybe he's been drinking yak's milk.
Fermented yak's milk.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Oh. It's not enough as it is.
Yakety yak, don't talk back. Right. Game face on. I would say then it would be if you're all predisposed to believe in his innocence, perhaps he'd be more willing to talk to you. Yes, I think under the circumstances, I would permit you to talk to him.
Thank you very much.
Are you any closer to recovering the box?
Know where it is headed.
Yes, I'd say we were.
Very well. If you head down to the cells, second cell on the right.
Okay.
He opens the door for you, just sort of, and motions you to leave the office.
Thank you very much. If we, when we find something, we'll report back.
Good. Okay. Only takes a couple of minutes to get down to the cells. There's a couple of drunks in a couple of the other cells, but it's mostly clear. Callum is sitting in a cell all alone, looking somewhat forlorn.
Okay. I'm gonna look through and watch him for a few minutes.
You can see it's almost as if he's trying to. You know that way when you see someone sitting there and something bad has happened, and you can see them trying to piece together this. The whole face seems to be replaying the event over and over as if they're trying to make sense of it. It's that sort of thing you're seeing on his face. It's as if it's as if something's just. He's trying to just make sense of everything that's going on.
Well, I will, during the question, I will try. I will use mind read again if I can.
Okay, roll please.
Ooh, that's not so good. That's an 11.
Yeah, that's a fail. That's going to be a point of fatigue as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to shake that off before you think of using mind read again.
Okay.
Okay. Or any of your abilities, for that matter, because you're feeling a little.
Suddenly feeling tired.
It's you've used it a couple of times in quick succession, so it's it's building up. Right. Who is going to be doing the question?
Denzel.
Yes, I think a professional bounty hunter should.
It better be me. Yeah. Okay.
He looks up, he sort of sensing that there's people watching. He looks up. There's this kind of flicker of recognition, but there's no warm smile or sort of greeting or anything. There's just this dejected look on his face.
Okay. I'm going to get out a piece of parchment. Is there a table that he's sitting at?
Yeah, there's a small.
Okay.
Small table.
In that case, I'll put the paper on the table, give him some kind of writing implement, and say, "I'd like you to write your name on this paper."
Okay. He writes Callum.
Yeah, and I'll make a note of which hand he uses.
Left hand.
Okay. In that case, throughout the questioning, I will keep an eye on his left hand. If it looks a bit either bruised or the skin is a bit rough on it, I will sort of keep looking at it. Because if he's left-handed, then obviously he will use that to, bop someone.
Yeah.
So if I see anything about that, I'll quiz him on that. If not, I'll just keep on with the regular questions.
Okay.
So what I'll do first is I'll ask him, okay, what happened that night? Tell me in your own words. I am aware that you had a couple to drink.
I had talked to Matthias. He told me that Lord Rigel was here in the city. Then he mentioned the actor and your suspicions about the actor, and I didn't want to believe it. But I've been so bereft, so incensed by the theft of this box. I couldn't help myself. I had to confront him. I had to know. I had to look him in the eye and ask him. I I I I left. I went to a bar. I had a drink for some Dutch courage. I wrote a note and got a young man to deliver the note to the house. I knew Lord Rigel would recognise my handwriting. Uh, he came out. We talked. Um, he denied any knowledge of stealing the box, of any murder. He said he'd only arrived in the city a few hours before. He promised to help any way he could. He consoled me. He said he would come along to the bar, and we would have a proper drink, and I went back to the bar to wait on him. He said he would only be a few moments. I had maybe two or three. I went back to the street, hoping to maybe find him on the way. Maybe he got caught up in something back at the house he was staying at, and I saw him there, bloodied on the ground, throat cut, horrible. And I could feel myself getting dizzy with just with the I'd had so much to drink, and my head was hurting, and I just it's just so too much, and I to my shame, I think I fainted.
Okay, so as he exclaims with his left hand, I'll take a good look at it.
Yeah, give me a notice roll.
Okay.
Sorry, it's kind of like dim here, and he's moving a hand around. I'm not giving you a take 10 or take 20 on this one.
Fair enough. Okay, 10 exactly.
Yeah, I'll let you with that one. There's maybe a scrape, but you can see similar scrapes on the other hand as well. Mm-hmm. The scrape could be... It might be consistent with somebody giving you a punch. It might be consistent with just falling flat in your ass. Instead of scraping on the ground. You'd really have to maybe get a physician, someone who's sort of versed in healing, who might be able to give you a better view on that. But it's there are marks on the left hand. There's very few marks on the right hand, though. I mean, one might. What is your intelligence?
My intelligence is 0.
Yeah. Yeah, if it been. Yeah, there's a couple of scrapes on the left hand. It's not as bad on the right hand.
Okay.
I'll give you that much.
All right. So I asked Callum, approximately how long was it, do you think, since the body had its throat slit?
I couldn't have. It can't have been more than half an hour between when I left him to go back to the bar and when I saw him there.
And how do you know that it was a knife or something blade shaped?
I did not see a weapon. The city watch claim they found a bloodied knife nearby,
How nearby?
a few feet from my person.
Okay. And what did your fiance think about all this?
I have not seen Jonas. I am utterly ashamed. I don't know what he'll think. Um,
Why did you hit him, Callum?
who?
Your fiance, Jonas. Why did you hit him?
I've never laid a hand on Jonas.
Well,
I haven't seen him in some time.
when we spoke to him, he had bruising on his chin and he claimed that you had hit him. I noticed that your hand was a bit bruised and your left hand, you write with your left hand, which implies that you were left-handed. Sorry, family friend.
Yeah. I didn't. If you're referring to Matthias, we argued. I pushed him away. I never struck him. He tried to grab me. I shoved him away, and he let me go. I never struck him. I would never do that to Matthias. He's one of my oldest friends.
Okay. I'd turn back to the others and say, if you want to ask him anything, that's fine, but I'm not sure we can get anything else.
What type of knife was it that the city guard found? Was it, what type of knife was it? Can you describe it?
Yeah, yes, it was a very simple knife, very simple with a short blade. I wouldn't even call it a dagger. It was just a very the blade was only perhaps two maybe 3 inches, but it seemed very sharp.
But it was quite plain.
Yes, very plain.
Okay. Doesn't seem like the sort of knife that you would have to hand.
No, I never carry a weapon other than my sword, and I left without it. I there is a ceremonial dagger that I sometimes carry, but it is it is blunted. It is a show piece. It is a jeweled encrusted. It's there to look nice. It's special functions. It has no function other than that. It's I would never carry such a vile weapon. It's I don't like. I've never been much for handling small weaponry.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone asking anything else?
To be honest with you two, I'm a little bit stuck now.
Hmm.
You
I'm
haven't really
not.
thought of.
I have a question to ask the captain.
Oh, the captain.
Okay, you
Okay.
heading back? You
Yeah,
heading
I'm
back
gonna
up to the captain?
I'm gonna swivel out the room and head back up to the captain. Show me murder weapon.
It shows you it's a fairly plain. It's a fairly plain, very small knife.
Is there a few inches blade like that?
Yeah, it's very sharp. It's got a very sharp point, but it's only sharp on one edge.
So the edge is sharp.
Yeah,
Okay.
extremely short. In that,
Going
use,
back to the
to use a modern idiom, you'd almost describe it as razor sharp.
okay, going back to my recollection of the scene in the maid's house with the family, all with their throats slashed.
Yeah,
Were they slashed in such a way that it was by such a sharp blade?
yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah,
Where was this weapon found?
it was found a couple of feet away from Callum. My guards are under the city watch who found him are under the impression that he got a crack over the head, possibly whilst trying to kill Lord Marchland, and fell due to it, and blade slipped out of his hand.
Callum slipped unconscious.
But that doesn't seem like the
Sorry.
sort of knife he'd use.
Sorry,
That's
hang on.
fine.
You're saying Callum was found unconscious?
Yes.
Well,
Really?
that does not seem like the actions of someone who murdered. That seems like he was hit.
Well, I'm quite prepared to accept the possibility that he was being framed in this, but I, under the circumstances, I simply can't allow him to be wandering about. Not least until we have some answers.
So, one's knife is questioned, and it will be heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes, with cloak with insignia of Griston, with outstretched wings on blue background. That is owner. That is question then is why did Marshall and graying hair, trimmed goatee, well-spoken, late 40s, early 50s hire an actor to fill role of heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes, with cloak with insignia of Griffin, with outstretched wings on blue background? That is what I do not understand. Why did he hire actor?
Very good question.
Sure to cover himself up.
But murder is committed by heavy-built, blonde hair, nice clothes, with cloak with insignia of Griffin, with outstretched wings and blue background, who also framed Callum, also kill Marchland, graying hair, trimmed goatee, well-spoken, late 40s, early 50s. But Marchland, graying hair, trimmed goatee, well-spoken, late 40s, early 50s is man who hired actor. That does not add up.
Well, then maybe he already knew about the framing and wanted to protect himself.
By being murdered?
Well, it
And
must
then
have gone
after
wrong.
being murdered, knocking out Callum to frame him?
Maybe the actor was given certain instructions.
It is the other person. It is heavy built, blonde hair, nice clothes, with cloak with insignia of Griffin, with outstretched wings and blue background that we must find. He is still in the city. He has not come back with the music box. We must find this man.
Oh, if you say so.
And
Was
given the amount of brain ache that my players are experiencing at the moment, I'm actually going to call this a convenient moment to
Okay.
actually stop session 2, and you poor unfortunate souls will have a fortnight or so to try and figure all this out. I am enjoying the heck out of this, because I am loving just how much you're twisting and turning on this. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm hoping everyone else is as well. As frustrating as I know it, as frustrating as it's possibly feeling right now. So, I'm going to stop the broadcast because I'm going to have a talk with my players off air. I hope everyone enjoyed.
We've got that wrong, have we?
No. So I hope everyone enjoyed this session, and we should be back in 2 weeks' time for session 3, a meme to remember.
Yes.
I've
So-
got all the memes up. Just this is how I'm doing it. I've got the memes up so that I can read them.
So until then, for session 3, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to my players for putting up with what must be 2 hours of hell, which we'll discuss a bit more once we go off air. And thank you everyone, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
thanks so much. Bye.